Hey, everybody. Welcome to this episode of ClearPath LeaderCast. My name is Craig Anderson. I'm the president of ClearPath Coaching and Consulting. I am a leadership confidence coach, helping leaders learn the tips and the mindset and the tools that they need to successfully lead their business. I was an accidental leader myself, never thought I'd end up in the leadership roles I was in, and really had to do a lot of work to learn how to be a leader and how to lead a business effectively. And here at ClearPath Coaching and Consulting, that's what we do is help leaders really become the leader they aspire to be, to have the tools they need to run the business, and they don't have to get an MBA to do it. I didn't have one, and I had a lot of success, and that's what I'm always here to share with you. Today, we are going to be talking about something important to me, which is clarity of vision. How do you get your business to succeed and get your team aligned? A big starting point for that is to have clarity of vision that gets down through the whole business. And I'm going to share a story with you about a business I worked in where the leader thought that they really had great leader and great clarity for the business and a great strategy for the business. And for them, and it probably was really clear what it was that they wanted, but that clarity was not communicated through the organization. And when you're not getting that clarity down through the organization, good things aren't going to happen. Bad things are going to happen. They're going to slow your business down. And what happens is the people below you don't really have clarity into the vision. So they're doing different things that they think are rough approximations of it, but they're not. And you start getting different areas, different divisions competing for resources, doing things they think that are the right thing, but are in conflict with other areas. And everything starts to fall apart. And there's all this dissension. And I know there's a management theory out there that there's great to have all your people under you really fighting for resources and struggling against each other. That's the worst way to try and run a business. I don't think that was the case here. I think they just really thought they were being clear and they weren't. So I wanted today, as I do every Thursday, share 3 actionable tips with you that you can use to grow your business effectively. So let's talk about 3 things you can do to get clarity of vision for your business. Or to get clarity around your business. So one is to get really clear with your team around the vision for the business, the goals and the priorities. And this is not kind of your business school definition of vision. What I'm talking about here is telling me what we're building. So 3 years from now, what is the business going to look like? Who are our customers? How many employees do we have? How much revenue? How much profit? What are those key things that the business is going to look like? If I were describing the business in a box to perhaps an investor or a buyer or something like that, or a new employee, what am I building? What are we signing up to build? So we want to be very specific around what that looks like. And then we want to derive from that in the first year, what does that mean for us around the goals that we have for the business? What numbers are we going to hit that'll show us we are on track towards that 3-year vision for the business? And then what are the gaps? What are the things we need to build to both execute on those 1-year goals and to hit that 3-year vision for the business of what we're building? Those become our projects. And when we're clear on those 3 things, here's what starts to happen with the business. You don't have to spend as much time directing people as to what they need to do because they see the big picture long term, they see the short term picture, and they know exactly what they need to do. So they're right there in line for you getting the things done. You just need to check in and have those touch point meetings to make sure everything's moving along. But they have a lot more ability to make decisions, to set priorities because they know I want to work towards this number. I want to work towards this project. So that saves you a lot of time as a leader and gets people aligned and moving forward. So being clear on what you're building and what that looks like from a success perspective in 3 years and in 1 year and what the key projects are. So that's thing 1 that you need to focus on. Thing 2, when this kind of gets back to my story I told at the beginning here, is clarity of communication. Communication is such an important skill for a leader. And a lot of leaders may think they're doing the right thing on communication. But if they're looking around and things aren't going the way they planned, if they're finding out things are getting dropped, or if decisions are being made that aren't in line with their decisions. I was talking to a leader the other day who someone was doing some independent effort under them that they thought was the right thing to do, and it wasn't. And by the time it got to the leader, it was a problem. So we really need to make sure people understand that vision, those goals, those priorities. So what does that mean for you? 1, you've got to communicate clearly and effectively and often. The sad truth is, as leaders, we have to say the same thing way more than we think we do. The time we think we are just becoming pedantic and people are sick and tired of us hearing us repeat ourselves, that's when people are actually starting to hear the message. It's like something like 12 times people have to hear things before it really gets ingrained. So when you have a town hall on the business, when you're having one-on-ones or team meetings, stepping back and communicating that vision, those goals, those priorities clearly and what they mean and in context is such an important skill for you to have as a leader. And when you can build that clarity of communication, people will start to understand, and that ability to no longer micromanage, that ability to not have to obsessively check in with people, to be able to delegate with a mode of relaxation, to know I've delegated it to people I trust to get the job done. None of that happens if you're not communicating clearly. So really important for you to be successful to communicate clearly with your team on what it is, the vision is, what the short-term goals are, and what the project priorities are for the business. So that's the next piece. The last piece where you need clarity for your business to grow successfully is clarity of accountability. And this is something I find a lot with clients that I work with is, they have goals and that's great. And they have projects and priorities, but they'll say, well, those people over there, a couple of people are responsible for that, or that team is responsible for that. And that's not going to work. For every objective or goal that we have, for every project we have going for the business, now certainly as the leader, the buck stops with you and all things are your responsibility, but you're assigning tasks to people and you need to assign those tasks to one specific person in the organization. Even if they're part of a team of equals working on it, you need to have the one person when you need definitive truth on what's going on with that goal or what's going on with that project, you can tag them. They have the answers and they are the ones who will be held accountable. They know it's their responsibility, not a broad responsibility. When lots of people are responsible for something, no one is responsible for something. So it's so important for you to have clarity on that. I have some clients I work with on the one-page business plan to help them get kind of focused on these things. And we make sure that someone is responsible for that. Even if we don't have a plan for every individual on the team, we know for each objective and each strategy and each project, who is responsible for filling that and making that happen. So that's an important piece. If we don't know who's accountable for it, whenever something goes wrong, you're going to have a lot of people looking around trying to figure out, going, well, he was over there. Clarity of accountability, such a crucial piece. So that's it. If you want to help your team get aligned, if you want your business to grow successfully in 2022, what you need to do is have a lot of clarity for the team, clarity on your vision, goals, and priorities for the business in very specific detail, clarity in communication, communicating effectively to your team so everybody understands what's going on. And finally, clarity of accountability. Everything that goes on as one person and one person alone who we are holding accountable for delivery of results. And if you can do all that, you're going to see that you're going to miss fewer numbers. You're going to see problems coming sooner, and you're going to be a more effective leader overall. Now, a lot of that's a lot to throw at you in just about 10 minutes here today. If you'd like to talk more about it, you've seen the scroll at the bottom, clearpathcoaches.com/intro call, all one word. That'll allow you to get some time on my calendar for us to talk. So schedule that call today. We'll get 15 minutes to figure out what's going on with you and how we can get you clear. And that is how we can take the next step together. So thank you. Join us next week. We are here every Thursday live at noon Eastern. Thanks everybody for being here. And I look forward to seeing you next week. Thanks.